The simple question, Bill, is you know what's required. Could it be done in 2017 what you did in 1986?
Well, I think the odds are against it, but what you need if you're going to do tax reform is you need some principles to guide you. You need a committed president, you need a talented Treasury Secretary, and you need the chairman of the Finance and Ways and Means Committee who have their own political interests involved in succeeding with tax reform. If you don't have that, or any one of those, you're going to have a major problem.
So if you talk to Orrin Hatch, who's chair of the Finance Committee, and you talk to Kevin Brady, who's chairman of the House Ways and Means, they say they are committed to it, and they do have basic principles. They have some disagreements, but they agree on a lot more than they disagree on.
Well, the first thing you need to do, if you're going to do tax reform, is you have to put a specific proposal out. It's great to talk principles, it's great to talk ideas, but you got to put a specific proposal out and measure it against the principles you've espoused. And you got to be able to say, you know, if it's tax reform, do equal incomes pay equal tax? Do the wealthy pay their fair share? Do you have the market allocating resources as opposed to the Finance Committee and the Ways and Means Committee? Is it simple? Is it clear?
What they would say if they were here, both of them, they would agree on this, is the primary goal is growth. We need to get growth for the economy to benefit everybody at all income strata. What could be done, in your opinion, that would make sense, that would actually be pro-growth with the tax code?
Well, I think cleaning it up would make a big difference. There's over $1 trillion of loopholes now in the tax code. Since 1986, it's gotten worse year by year with tax reform, as tax bills added more and more loopholes. So I think it would make sense to clean up the loopholes. And of course, the benefit of doing that is you can lower the rate. But beware of the two favorite friends of anybody writing tax legislation. And that is rosy scenario, you know, growth numbers that are off the wall and can't be justified, and dynamic scoring, meaning if you cut a tax rate, you're going to have dramatic increase in revenue. That history shows is not true. So I think if they're serious, they would clean up the tax code of the loopholes, and they would lower the rates.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, dynamic scoring, Senator, because if you wound up looking at the markets, they're pricing in lower corporate tax, repatriation, and all of a sudden, boom, you're going to see growth pick up, CapEx is going to explode, and all things are going to be great. Is that true? Like, what's the trickle-through down to tax reform to actual CapEx spend?
Well, you know, I think that it's not wise to make economic decisions based on something that hasn't happened. And that's what the market is doing now. They're already pricing in the accomplishment of tax reform on the corporate side, for example. But it hasn't happened. And I think it's a little dangerous to do that.